The Bandeja is not a paddle smash. This is a really common mistake players make. They think of it as an aggressive shot. The Bandeja is a paddle overhead. Along with the Vibora, two of the most important paddle overheads you could hit. I can sympathise. I know that both of these shots look very similar, but it's really important that you understand what the differences are, so let's get into it. First and most importantly, the tactics of the shot. For the Bandeja, it is a shot that you are playing from further back in the court as a defensive overhead to regain the net. That is the purpose, to get yourself back to a net position. The Vibora, it's an attacking slice smash, and you would play this aggressively to try and set up the point or even finish it. This can be a really difficult one to get right because the further you are forced back, I get it, you want to hit more aggressively to put them under pressure, but really the neutralizing part is playing slower and making them play a difficult ball in the corner. And because you play slower, it gives you more time to get back to net. So the further you are forced back in the court, the more strategic, the more tactical you need to be with that shot. But remember, you only ever play the Bandeja when you can actually recover the net. If you're forced too far back, probably around the service line for most players, from here it's very difficult to hit and get back into net. Probably better for you and your partner if you let the ball bounce and play the ball off the back glass and just think about rebuilding the point rather than trying to hit too hard and rush back in. You're just going to put both you and your partner in a bad position. And when it comes to the Vibora, you generally play this further up the court. This is where you as a player, you play within your capabilities. You see the pros playing the Vibora from way back here because they are so good, they can play an aggressive shot from this far back. But for us mere mortals and for the rest of the players at the club, you will play this from further up the court, probably around the second post. And from here, you could be more aggressive with that shot. Next is the technical difference between the shots. The Bandeja, and part of the reason we teach it as a progression from the volley, is it's very similar to a high forehand volley. You start with the arms up, you want to have the racket go above the height of the ball, down through the contact, racket face slightly open, and it's very much a block motion. You are punching through the ball to get that slice so that it can stay low on the other end. The Vibora is a very different action. The racket comes behind the head and it's almost like a throwing action. You want to throw your racket at the ball, brush around the side of the ball, so it's a combination of side spin and slice, and it's very much a relaxed arm that you are throwing with confidence the racket through the ball to get nice racket head speed and therefore good ball speed. Another major difference, and you might not consider this a big difference, is the mental approach to both shots. It's the decision making. If you think about the Bandeja, if you're playing this from further back, you are neutralizing the point. So you are thinking about how can I play this ball slow enough to give me time and also with enough space on the other court that I neutralize my opponent. I need to play this into space so I can recover my space on the court. It's very much a strategic shot that you want to place in a certain part of the court to recover the net. The Vibora, it's more around if you are deciding to play this as a Vibora, pull the trigger. You've got to go for it. If you are tentative or you feel like you might miss or you're gonna suddenly push the ball, you will not hit a good Vibora. So when you decide to play it, wherever you are on the court, say to yourself, right, this is it, commit to it fully and absolutely go for that shot. When you are clearly making a decision about going for the shot, be really clear on where you're aiming. So often players are overthinking. They're thinking they could hit the Vibora there or down the middle or down the line or here. And at the pro level, they need to think about how they can fox their opponent. But for majority of club players, just play the ball cross court around this service line, anywhere towards the corner, really for the Vibora or the Bandeja, and you are more than likely going to put yourself in a good position. The biggest common error for the Bandeja and the Vibora is being late on the ball. Late to recognize the lob, late to move into position, and then often late to make the decision. But I get it, it's really difficult. In a point, you're focusing on the ball, the score, you're thinking of lots of other things. But as soon as your opponent has hit a lob, you should focus on turning to the side, because either it's going to be an overhead, all of your overheads you need to turn to the side anyway, and if it does go over, you can always move back. You're better to go back turning side on. And then when you do turn side on, just be really clear about which shot you're going to hit. I would prefer you, as your coach, I would prefer you to make a decision on the shot and go for that shot and it be the wrong choice, rather than not making a decision and it being late and therefore you choosing the wrong option because you haven't actually made a decision. So really the best way that you can practice either of those shots is either with a friend, or really best as a ball machine, to feed up this lob so that you can get repetition of really clear focus on each of those shots, so you can work on the technique in a nice closed environment so you get lots of practice. It's extremely difficult to practice in a game because you just don't get regular lobs in the same place, so you can focus on the skill. Best way, ball machine. Second best, a friend feeding you these balls so that you can practice. If you use a ball machine, we have a whole course on the padelschool.com of over 28 videos of drills you can use with the ball machine if you want some inspiration, but really the best way is to practice it off the match court. So I want to set you a little challenge. Next time you're watching Premier Padel on Red Bull TV and you're watching the world's best players, try to identify if they're hitting a Vibora or a Bandeja. You'll see the men's and the women's players using a lot of both, and that will also help you analyze their game and decide which smashes they are using. Up here I'm going to put a link to the padelschool.com where you can find all of our tutorials, all of our courses to help improve your game, and then down here a video on how to improve technique for topspin smash.